Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Bible in Order, where we are chronologically going through the entire Bible in 1 year. Today's reading for February 8th is Exodus 28 and 29. In verse 2 of chapter 28, God says to Moses, "Make holy garments for your brother Aaron, for glory and beauty." Why does a priest, the chief priest no less, need to wear clothes for beauty and for glory? It's a picture, isn't it, of the righteousness of Christ? The clothes represent something, what we're covered in. Are we covered in sin, which is like filth? Or are we covered in beauty and glory, which comes from God and represents who God is because he's beautiful and he is glorious? Of course, we are not to pride ourselves on the things we wear. 1 Peter 3:3 says, "Let your beauty not come from external adornment." It's not about your outward appearance, how you fix your hair, or what you wear, or the jewelry you have. And yet we should look nice. We should represent God well. Do you think this refers to wearing your Sunday best to church? Or is it a matter of representing God in the community when you take your dog for a walk, or when you go to the grocery store, or when you show up to work? As we read through the description of how the ephod is supposed to be manufactured and how the breast piece is to be constructed, what do these articles of clothing do? What parts of the body do they cover? What do these parts of the body represent? Obviously, the breast piece covers the heart. Did the priest have to cover up their own heart so the heart of God would shine through them? Was the ephod like a mantle or a cape that covered the shoulders and the back? What does the back or the shoulders represent on a human? What was being covered and why and how? When you read about the Urim and the Thummim, consider that the Urim comes from a word that means light or fire, and the Thummim comes from a word that means completeness or integrity. Where else do you see robes discussed in Scripture? What does that robe represent? Obviously, a turban covers the head. Does the priest donning a turban symbolize taking on the mind of Christ? Chapter 29 is all about consecration and the importance of it and why it's important and how to do it. And it's a reminder that serving God, that being an intermediary for him, is representative by people who become like him. How have you become like him? How have you consecrated yourself to him? We are justified solely by the finished work of Jesus Christ on the cross, and yet that elicits a response from us. It necessitates a response from us. We must respond by following him, by being like him. We are made righteous like him by his work, and now we have to act it out. And so we choose to remember who we are in him, that we are co-heirs with him, that he calls us and beckons us to receive as he has received. And so we should walk as he walks. Jesus said he could only do what he sees the Father doing. We should be so compelled by our new identity in him that we only do what we see him doing. In 29, verse 45, God says, "I will dwell among the Israelites and be their God, and they will know that I am Yahweh their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, so that I might dwell among them." The prerequisite to God dwelling among his people is that they know who he is. The world will know who he is because of who we are in him. We have to remember who we are in him. Question for you, my friends. I'd love your answers in the comments section on Facebook, on Rumble, and on YouTube. You could also shoot me a message at BibleInOrder.com. The question is, what can you do right now? What can you do today to help yourself better understand who you are in him? I can't wait to hear from you. God bless you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. We'll see you tomorrow.